Dakota Diamond here from Jedediah Smith. Gonna demo my new Kemper power head. Haven't gotten a chance to profile my own amps yet, but I've got some pretty decent tones out of it as of yet. So I will plug in with my 8-string and I'll jam on a couple new riffs, see how they sound through the Kemper. Hope you enjoy. So that's going to be on a song called Silver, paired with another song called Gold. So it like goes with the whole Western theme, you know, with like gold and silver, you know, that whole thing. But also it goes with Pokemon Gold and Silver. Yeah. Cool slapping lick that ends in really G sharp minor, but we're calling it B major. The next song is B minor, so we're going to do a little bit of modal interchange going into the next song there, but ending with a suspended chord so it can be interpreted as either major or minor, and it's used as a pivot chord because it's diatonic to both keys, ending on this this E sus. lick's going to be on the song called Leaping Lizards. Going to be a badass song, one of the heavier songs on the album, to be sure. Pretty excited about that one. Yeah, but that's my bit for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Connor's going to do his lesson on 3-finger technique and then sweeping. So, yeah, there he is.
Hey y'all, it's Connor Corum from Jedediah Smith here. Today we're going to be working on 3-finger technique for bass guitar. Now I like to start with a few warm-ups in G major. It's a pretty easy key and I enjoy it. So we're going to start on the 7th degree of G major, which would be F sharp here. What we're going to do is we're going to run up the 7th mode, which is low cream. Starting with, of course, our F sharp. Now, if you notice, when I go up the scale, I approach it differently than most people would. Not in the left hand, mostly in the right hand. When I begin each string, I usually like to start on the 1st or the 3rd finger, so that I can get all 3 fingers to get all 3 notes of each string. Now moving on to G major, which is Ionian, the 1st degree G major, starting on G, 3rd fret of E string. So now we're going to do the same thing, but now try and focus on the right hand. This time I'll start with using the 3rd finger. Now every time you approach it, there isn't a specific order in which you should pick your fingers. I generally like to start with one finger and then choose between maybe the middle finger or the 1st finger, the pointer finger, on which one to strike the next note. Now, it seems remedial, but after a while, once you move through all the different modes inside G major, you realize that it's not only a helpful warm-up for your left hand, but also when your right hand. Now this is just like on one string with 3 fingers. Moving on is when we use 3 fingers to strike chords, such as like an E major 7 chord. Now with most people, they would use their thumb and their first 2 fingers. My only problem with this is you leave your E string open to ring out. So I always like to anchor my thumb on my E string and then pluck all of the bottom strings of the chord with my 3 fingers. So you could do a lot of fun grooves just using your 2nd and 3rd finger and pedaling with your 1st. I do it all, it's very enjoyable. Now moving on to more advanced stuff is when we'll get into the sweeping and the tapping using the 3rd finger. But most of these exercises are used to strengthen our third finger and get it ready for a lot of those events that are much more strenuous on it and will take practice over time. I wouldn't approach sweeping or tapping before getting, your third finger strengthened up. It's just like when you start playing with two fingers, you got to get your second finger nice and tight before you start applying it to faster material. Another warm-up I also enjoy doing that it's not so much of string to string as it is just string crossing, mostly octaves, and it's called the spider. It was named that by an instructor of mine who taught it to me, and I just enjoy it all the time. Starting on the F sharp, we're going to go an F sharp to F sharp, and then with our second finger, we're going to go G to G, and then what we're going to do is we're going to move up chromatically. But when we go to our third finger, instead of grabbing an octave, because we can't with our pinky, we're going to grab a 6, minor 6, flat 6. And then we're going to go to the fourth finger and do the same thing, grab another minor 6. Now, when we're done here, what we're going to do is we're going to start our first finger down on G, chromatically moving up this pattern. So if you were to speed that cycle up, it would be. Now if you notice when I do that exercise, I'm using exclusively my third finger to grab the octaves. Now you can switch between using your second and your third finger to get practice in, but to strengthen your third finger, I recommend starting exclusively using your third finger to grab the octaves. Well, it was great hanging out with you all today, and I hope that you practice your three-finger technique and get that stuff down, because it really comes in handy later on when you approach more difficult material. So thank you very much, and make it a great day.